Bring it to church, my people.
That is
It's
sorry.
over.
So am I weird or mine?
It's over. Oh my God. Chara the Wonder Dog. I'm babysitting my brother's dog, and Chara got it into it. Hey, come on.
Not the tambourine.
Oh, I got
All right, let's get into it because it's been a long season.
All right.
It's been a long season.
It's been an interesting season.
All right. Everybody, we back, and we got the crews here, Shahida, Chris, and Tanya, and we brought our two homegirls back, Maya and Tracy.
Call back.
Call back, because we had to talk about this decision day. And before I unleash, all I'm gonna say is, who the fuck thought that all this shit that we were gonna go 4 for 4? All right, I'm gonna pick somebody. So who wants to go first? Anybody? I'm picking. Go ahead, Shahida. Go on. The floor is yours.
It's not even a big rant because they have taken the life out of me. This whole season has taken the life out of me. The only thing that I was surprised about was Jasmina and Michael. That stunned me. Stunned me. I was not expecting. And for her to go first and say yes, when I felt like somebody slapped me in the face. Was not expecting that. That was the only surprise because every other couple, we have to say, I hit all of them except for that one. I called all of them except for that one.
Whatever.
I definitely didn't expect any of them to really. I don't know. I was really kind of taken back on all of them, and I don't know, you guys. I don't even remember what I thought in the beginning now because I'm blown away at them all just going for it, I guess.
Tracy?
I don't see what I would love to talk to Jasmina and see. I know you guys had said from the beginning, and I am going to say if I'm wrong or not, but you guys were saying the last couple of weeks that she had turned a corner and that she was nicer, and I wasn't giving her an inch. I was like, she's fake. I still can't let that go. Because I feel like it's one of those, let's say yes, and then 2 weeks later, no. But you know what? If they're managing to make it work, but you're not attracted to this person. You said it 1,000 times that you were not attracted to him. What made her say yes?
I think the difference is what it came down to is that she would never, for dating purposes, would never have picked him. But if you're forced to be in a marriage and you want a partner in marriage, and he's become pretty much her best friend and knows how to deal with her, and they were forced to deal with each other, she kind of, I think, warmed up to the fact that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. I better get along with whoever I'm married to as opposed to being in lust. And once he hits it and they start having sex, it'll be all even better. It'll be even better.
But they're not even going to live together. I don't think they'll get to that point. I don't think they'll get to that point if they're not even going to live together. I think she's going to keep him at friend zone, and it's easier to do that if they're not living together.
So hold on. Let me get. Come on, Tracy. Get on.
So I wrote down predictions before I watched because I was like, listen, I'm gonna write this down because I don't want to be backpedaling on myself. So I was splitting it straight down the middle. I was thinking Jasmina and Michael divorce. I was thinking Olajuwon and Katina divorce, and then I thought Steve, Noy, and then Lindsay and Mark would stay together. That was my prediction. So when I ever saw Jasmina come out there and say I want to stay married, I was like,
and first,
who paid her off at the show to say this? Because no, I don't believe it. I don't believe.
I didn't even put it on her face either. She didn't even look like she was happy. That's the
you.
Is that the girl's face?
When they started talking about the intimacy part of it, and she was like, "Oh, he accidentally." The conversation about him touching her ass was so painful,
so uncomfortable.
It was.
Hashtag the booty train.
So painful. I was like, "Yo, I give them less than a year."
And I feel bad for him because, well, maybe there was a conversation had between the two of them, but if not, I'm just like, you're going into this situation. She's telling you she has intimacy issues with you. She's telling you she doesn't want to live with you. She's telling you you're a great friend to her. There's no spark.
She dwells on that quote unquote month that they didn't speak to each other. I'm like, girl, that was your fault.
Yeah.
When they showed the clip to that first argument that they had when they were on the honeymoon, the aggression that she had for him, I mean, it bordered on hate.
But he was the aggressive one, remember?
I remember her saying that, but her tone, that's how I speak to people that I really dislike. And that's how she spoke to him. So I don't know how she got from there to yes, let's stay married. And him touching my butt is a big deal.
Maybe she realized, like, hey, this guy taught me how to drive. He's been super patient with me. I would like to think she had this epiphany, but I don't think she's that kind of person. I don't see it.
It could have been just for the face, because she probably got her ass ripped on Twitter and social media for being such a bitch. And maybe it was just to save face, you know what I mean?
Remember, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
You remember I had been saying that too, that, she probably changed because she saw, but that was filmed before. Like, I'm talking not the decision day, but when I kept saying that, she probably saw what people were seeing and that's why she changed her attitude, but that was actually filmed before. Maybe it was somebody closer to her telling her, or watching Alyssa go through what she did and maybe try to change. But I feel the same way as Tracy, that I just don't feel like it's genuine. I don't believe she has these feelings enough to be married to this person.
I don't think that any of these couples have the feelings, with the exception of Steve and Noi.
I agree, Tanya.
I think that
the rest of them.
Huh?
You mean Steve?
Yes, Steve.
Because Noi don't feel nothing.
Well, I mean, Steve, you're right on that one, Steve.
But I don't know.
After this final episode, Steve is all the way in. Okay, so listen, it is what it is. But I just think that outside of Steve and outside of Michael, I think the rest of them, the Lifetime gave them incentive to say yes.
Oh,
because I don't understand how too many of us throughout this country online was like, oh, no, that ain't
we
gonna
saw
work.
Nothing. We saw no genuine love, affection, or attraction.
And the fact that Mark and Lindsay came out there, and again, I'm all over the place right now because I'm just
yeah. Let's try and keep it on one couple because there's so much on each of them.
So before we go off Mike and Jasmina, I just want to point out with them and the other couples, they can say whatever they want. Body language. If you go back and look at the body language, so at the end they're celebrating, they raise their glasses. So if you have it on DVR, go back and look at Jasmina and Michael's toast. Everyone, all the specialists, Michael had their glass raised. They're like doing this toast. Jasmina's glass is down here, kind of like she got something better to do other than toast her new union and her new beginning. Like, she was not, until the very last minute, like at the toast, she then raised her glass. Michael's arm was like this because he was so thirsty for that.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was so grateful because he didn't believe she was going to say it.
And that's where I do feel like she must have talk to someone, something happened, because that's even why she initiated to go first, right? Because I think she knew he would say yes if she said yes.
He was definitely gonna say yes. He was never gonna say no. He wants.
Yeah, I agree.
He
Tracy.
wanted
I
it
think,
too
I think
badly.
it was the scare for her that if he, that's where, I don't know. I think she liked the control of being able to go first.
Controlling.
And
yep.
I was sad for Michael, you know. I thought he was a good guy. He's a good guy. So I don't think he.
What?
What are you doing, Chris?
I cannot believe my eyes when I just
Spill it, brother.
so what's making me angry, I think, about it is I don't like the manipulation of the show.
Yeah.
I think the show is manipulating us now because they've for the past, I've seen every season. This was the 14th season, and they've obviously never had 4 out of 4.
No,
So,
never.
Well, don't forget it's 4 out of 5.
Well, yes, but we're following the 4,
Right.
Exactly. And that's also feeds into their benefit too. You can say, well, we didn't get it all perfect, but to have 4 out of 4 when there is clearly 3 dysfunctional, even though she's just they're going to be, I from the beginning, from when they first started, I believe that they were going to be good. It's just going through bumps and stuff. But those other 3, as you said, with incentives, to make sure that I think it was partly the show, and because there's no way that Mock the Shock wants to. There's no way he could, unless he's just like, I give in, I give up, uncle.
Who marries a stranger who's a known alcoholic that belittles you publicly? It's like, what?
Continuously.
And not for nothing, back to my point, it's decision day. And Lindsay and Olajuwon had a moment to speak positive about their spouse. And
let's go to Olajuwon and Katina.
No, I gotta say it because the two, I gotta lump the two of these motherfuckers in the same category.
Okay. I might have to just start taking
trash. Take it straight to the head, Tracy. Take it straight to the head. Listen to me. The fact that we are here at Decision Day, and these two, Lindsay and Olajuwon, talking their talk, but they could not pass up the opportunity to fucking dog out their spouse. Fucking,
they are consistent.
Lindsay going in on Mark, talking about his shit, and then you've got, talking about Mark with his social media shit, because Lindsay's just salty because Mark was talking to fucking Alyssa on social media. That's where Lindsay's underwear is in a bunch on that one. Then you've got fucking Olajuwon and Katina, where he started off good, and then he starts talking about her cooking. Look, not everybody is the best cook in the world, but that motherfucker's like straight up said that your shit's inedible. Somebody said to me, my food was inedible. I am not saying yes. I don't give a fuck how much I feel about you. You look at me and put my ass on blast on national TV and say that my food is inedible. We're done. I changed my decision. I'm gonna choose for divorce. Nah.
The thing is,
let's go into Olajuwon and Katina, because I think that was probably the most tragic of the whole night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was traumatic watching her face when he said those things to her. And I was disgusted with the judges or the professionals who didn't call him out on the obvious hurt that he was causing this woman. It was absolutely traumatizing watching
He's so
it.
whack at what he does, but he manages to manipulate time after. That's his whole
She's
shit.
weak, like you said.
So
I hate to say it. And then she's like, again, the body language. Her shoulders are all hunched over. I wanted to be like, sit up, girl. Sit up and hold yourself up. And then the
Fix your
judges,
wig, bitch. Shit.
not the
something.
judges, but the experts, when every time Elijah Wan said anything and they panned to their faces, I mean, they were looking like, oh my God, what is he going to like? They looked like, please get him off the stage as soon as possible. Like they couldn't wait for him to be done. Then he gets the crucifix in his head. He gets it shaved into his head. Manipulation. That's more of his games.
Yeah. And the crying thing, somebody said clear signs of a narcissistic person.
He plays too much.
And a psychopath. They can cry on demand for different things. And he manages to do that when he's like in a little of a hot spot to get kind of like. I think he
really feels it though. I think he really feels it. But he was feeling it because it was his dad's birthday. So
but I feel like he uses those things.
Oh, absolutely.
For his advantage. So how much are you really feeling when you're using it for attention?
That's what he gets off on. That's his thing.
Ooh, Tanya, you froze.
In mid-speech too.
He made it very clear that they were talking every day. So even the 24 hours that they weren't together, they were talking. So you don't think that maybe the day before you're making the decision, you tell your wife that it's my dad's birthday?
I know.
Like he put that shit on her. And then when she hugged him, she's like, I can't believe you didn't tell me that it was your dad's birthday. I would have felt some sort of way. He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
He was reeling in the emotional shit.
He's a
I don't think
Go ahead, Maya and Chris. Go ahead.
I just this is I don't like Elijah Wan. I think that he's narcissistic, manipulative. I feel so bad for Katina. She's so weak in this situation. I wish she could have stuck up for herself. Stood up for us women in any situation like that. But she made such a bad light that it was acceptable, it was okay. And even like you guys said, the experts not saying we've said it again, it's not, you're not tradition. Get that? That's you need to go to therapy to stop thinking tradition is my wife cooking, cleaning, and just taking care of me, but also working, making money, and going to school and doing everything. My woman needs to make me happy.
And he says it. He
but
says
can I
it.
tell you?
When are they going to say that's not it? That's
he did that to her because he could do it to her. If they had given him in my opinion, a woman who maybe had a little bit more world experience, who would have gave him tips, he wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I have my own place too, and I've got this too. So you're gonna cook too.
He sensed the vulnerability in her, and he played to that. If he had like a real someone who, just a woman who wouldn't go with that, you know what I mean? Just go along with it and kind of like, oh, I can cook. Was like, no, dude, why don't you get in there and make us both something to eat? He wouldn't do that. He did it because he could.
He's almost looking for something unrealistic though, because he wants someone to I want someone who's experienced, who's got this and that, but also I don't know. He's kind
of the whole Kevin Samuels thing that you guys talked about last week. It's like you want this woman who's everything, but you keep raising the bar, and it's unrealistic and it's stupid.
I just don't like the way he talks. He talks about her,
right,
and
to her face.
To her face. That really bothers me. You can not like someone's cooking. Going back to what you were saying before. But to say it's inedible, like the motherfucker you cook it.
And he kept saying it.
And doubling down on it. And doubling down on it.
He sure did.
I just don't like. So that's indicative of how he is as a person, and I don't know if it's going. Well, if she plays into it,
I think she'll play into it.
Abused.
No.
She feels like being.
That's the word, Chris.
She feels like
definitely is abused.
Abusive relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and it,
she has fully accepted that abuse from him, and you can see it because you see how happy she got when he said yes. Before then, she, like Tracy said, the body language, the shoulders were sunken, the face. Oh my God, her face looks so sad when he was saying those things. If I can imagine him saying that to Maya, and I would see anger over Maya's face where she was looking like,
let's not get this shit twisted.
I was gonna say, let someone say that to me.
Listen to me. I know my cousin. Listen, no one could say that to her or even part their lips, because this bitch will be calling everybody in the family like, somebody come bail my black ass out of this goddamn jail. Because
you know what? Some of my food isn't edible. And that's realistic. I can't cook that well, and I'm still learning. Everyone is,
Yeah, but you don't say, especially if the woman you just said you're staying married with, you would try to be supportive and not tear her down.
That's
at least try to, you know what I mean? At least be like,
so wrong.
Hey babe, you know what? That last meal was not your best. It wasn't really good, and even Pascal said, well, there's room for improvement. Remember, he was like, there's always room for.
He's an asshole. I hate.
They said they're getting T-shirts. They're like, oh, we can get T-shirts made. Like, no,
I know.
Y'all should have just put a stop to it. Y'all should have put a stop to that marriage.
It should have never been brought up. Olajuwon is that dude that, or like that. He's like that. Not that dude. He's that person. We all know that person that thinks they got all this class, thinks they got all this clout, thinks they know everything. And Olajuwon is dumber than a sack of rocks. The motherfucker was drinking wine out of a goddamn Korak when there was wine glasses on the table. Then he says Katina took him on a gondola ride, but he said a gondola ride or some shit. He can't, brother, don't come for anybody.
But
if you can't even pronounce, you don't even have the basic etiquette or the basic
repeating it to each other.
Thank you.
Gondola. I'm like, they belong together.
Gondola. That's what he was saying. Gondola.
Yeah, but
the gondola ride.
And then the experts were like, even what's her name? Viviana was like, that is not the word. She was just over in the corner like, But
here's the thing. Then stop. Stop acting like you so brand new when you can't even pronounce shit. Shut your
He's an insecure man. He's an insecure man. And what do insecure men do? They tear down people who they can, whether it's a woman or it's a man. And unfortunately for her, it's her, and she's accepting it wholeheartedly and saying, I know he comes off this way, but he's a really good person. When is he a good person?
When no one's watching.
Person to you?
When no one's watching and he doesn't have an audience and he's acting soft over there at the house.
And again, like you said, Shahida, he has been doing this entire time because he can. Now, let's not get this shit twisted. If he said some sideways shit to her and Katina clapped back at his ass, he would have reeled his raggedy ass in and been like, okay. He would have thought twice before he stepped to her again.
Now we will see after they have sex. I wish I could see what the relationship's going to be like then.
So they did like a little.
Well, they did have sex.
But I'm talking about when they really start.
Yeah.
If that's going to change his because she got the power of the vagina.
I don't think so.
Well, that's where Tanya, when you say if she was more don't talk to me like that, he would submit. I don't believe that because she was still in school, because he thought so little of her because she couldn't cook. I feel like she felt like she couldn't do that because there was not much. He just belittled her in every aspect in life. say that to someone who's got everything that you've got. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You're competing with someone you're looking at, and if you can't cook and clean, you can't get mad at someone else who can't cook and clean, who literally did everything else in your steps, but he was always belittling her with everything else, like not even proud of her going to school. I just kept saying my ex was in that same position. I mean, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they are on the
Reunion.
Which actually looked better than the whole damn season. But
I know, right?
All right.
But
So here, can we go? Oh wait, we talked about Jasmine and Michael, Katina and Lajuan. All right, let's just go to Steve and Annoying. And again, my man Steve, my dreamboat, comes out with his fly ass suit. I will say this: everybody showed up and looked nice. I do not condone. I'm also a woman of a certain age. I am not fond of those too tight suits on these young men today, but to each their own. It is what it is. I don't have to fuck them or marry them, so I'm good. But Steve came out with the roses and gave Pastor Cal a book, Peppa and Viviana a rose, and then gave Noya her whole batch. I was like, listen, I'm disappointed because I've been saying this all season that I really want her to say, I want him to say yes. And I want her to say no so that he can fucking pimp slap her across the fucking neck with his bank statements and be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm rich, bitch. Bow down. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. So here we
she
go.
knows his worth now.
Well, yes, she does.
His monetary worth.
You see how quick, listen, you see how quick she was like 2 weeks ago. I want to live separately.
Mm-hmm.
You already see after this episode, she was like, so when we move in together, I'm watching, I'm laying in my bed at 3:30 this morning, like, oh, bitch, you moving in with him now?
Right.
I just thought you was going to stay in your own house.
He didn't know until the last minute if she was going to say, he really didn't know what that girl was going to say. And his face, again, body language, vibes, his face flushed pink when she said yes, that she would marry him, because he wasn't sure. He was not confident in that. Right. And she does not deserve Steve. I'm pissed.
I agree.
And it's not about the money. It's not even about the money. He's a good dude with a nice family.
He's a mature man. Yeah. He's a mature, thoughtful, sensitive.
Yeah.
Then Steve will make me come out of dating retirement.
He gave this puta another ring.
You right.
I know. In front of everyone too, and it was beautiful. And you can tell they must have all had to choose from, like, maybe assortment of rings in the beginning. I don't know. I wonder what, because all of their rings in the beginning were.
You already know he got that ring for free. The last episode, he did the whole infomercial. His little friend came over with not the bottle of champagne, a magnum of champagne. I saw that big ass bottle. She's like, I brought the champs, and I was like, damn, bitch, that's a whole ass big ass magnum of champagne. Look at rings.
That was the moment she realized she wanted to be married to him. That of the whole season, the second ring is what broke this bitch and actually got her emotional to the point where, like, yeah, I made the right choice. The whole time she was giving this dude a hard way to go. When she saw that second ring, she couldn't even control herself.
But if she was so worried about the money, and him having a job, her brain cells should have been like, oh, it's a beautiful ring. Well, how the hell you affording this here, man? If you were so hell bent on the money and what he was bringing in, you would have questioned him on that. She buckled down. See, this is, you know what? Let me shut my mouth before I don't
even know if this has everything to do with money. Like, I honestly,
I'm about to go full Kevin Samuels up in here and be like, I'm tired of you dumbass bitches saying you want this, and then you're pissing and you're moaning. Then here comes the motherfucker, brings you the fucking shit. Now you're crying. You want to move in with him, and you're all head over heels in love with him. Well, bitch, you just said yesterday he wasn't shit.
Exactly.
She's over 33 with a dog.
Leftovers.
And a bootleg job.
Hashtag leftovers. Oh, I'm going there.
I honestly understood what she was saying to Steve all the way. Like I don't know. I understood her because I'm not saying you need a job. I don't even care what you do. If you have a big investment or you make a big trade, you've got all this cash for the year and you plan on making the next move in the next few months. I understand that, all about that. But what irks me and what I understand with her is the splitting everything and documenting everything 50-50. If you see me working all day and you made your trade and you made your money and you still want to split everything 50-50, and I understood when she was like, well, I want someone who picks up when I'm going to do my best. If I'm still working and I'm tired after work, I'm still going to try to help. But being like, honey, 50-50, come on, we're not gonna do all that. We're not gonna. And if you can, and guess what? If you have that much money and you want to help me out that much, let's get the maid in once a month so that I'm not cleaning, or once a week, or get the cleaning person to do the things that we both don't want to do since we got the money to do it. You work out things like that, because I don't want to do the chores, this and that, and you're my lucky husband on vacation.
Well, no, first of all, now we're going to have a disagreement, because first of all, he earned that. If she had earned that shit on her own,
now they're in partnership. Yeah, but now they're married. It's a completely, it's like, I love you and I'm going to help you. And if I'm like, I'm setting myself up to be in a position like that, but I'm never going to, I just think it would be a bonkers thing to say, I'm watching you work 40 hours a week. I'm watching myself watching my football and hanging out with my friends. And I'm going to continue to make sure we're doing the 50-50 split.
But as long as she's see, that's where I have a disagreement.
I'm
with. He earned that money on his own. So he worked his ass off to get where he was. Now, if she did the same thing, if the two of them wanted to stay home and not do anything, that'd be one thing. But you can't penalize him for his success.
No, it's not penalizing. No, and that's what she
said. Well, he's got to do more work. He's got to do more because I'm at work all day.
I don't think he said 50-50. I think he said
no, he said 50. I know. And then after, no, he specified 50-50. And that's why she kept on saying, I just don't want it to say you guys don't remember the episode with the Excel sheet?
I remember him saying sharing in the chores. But part of the chores was the dog that she brought that was taking shits that he had to go clean up. And he don't even like the damn dog. So I was like, okay, that's nice of him to be taking her dog out and doing all this. I get it. Like,
while she's working.
It shouldn't be 50-50, but he's in the house with her. So obviously he observed her not doing shit to be able to say, well, can you wash this dish after you have lunch?
I think it's hard to say for people that work from home, because I work from home and people can
I do as well.
I can do things while I'm working from home. It's really still hard to do your dishes while you're working from home still. And that concept of, because you work from home, you should be able to still do your laundry and do your dishes and cook and clean while you're working from home.
I don't think he was saying that. I don't think he was saying that so much. When they had that discussion, I don't remember the Excel spreadsheet. I really don't.
I remember them having that finances with.
I remember the discussion, and he was talking about the bathrooms. It wasn't like, oh, do it during the day when you're working. I'm thinking this is like, on the weekend, you clean this bathroom, I clean that bathroom. During the week, I might have to clean my bathroom a little extra, or you might have to do yours a little extra. I didn't think it was like, oh, do it while you're working, doing your job. I didn't take it that way.
All right, I gotta jump in here because again, I've never been a tit for tat person. It is what it is. If I am married or have a house, living in my house with a significant other, it's not, I just can't do that with the whole 50-50 thing. I have a mindset of if I wake up in the morning and I walk in my kitchen and there's fucking shit in the sink, and whether I made the mess or my significant other made the mess, it's irritating to me. It may not be irritating to him, but for me, how I am, it's irritating to me. I'm going to clean that shit up.
But you're going to be resentful about it, though.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
the thing.
Nope. And the only reason why I say that was because I was married to a man that he was clean, but there were times he'd eat his food, throw the dishes in the sink. And the next morning I'd wake up and the dishes would be in the sink all caked up. He wouldn't even give me the respect of soaking them bitches. It would just be all caked up in the sink. And I was like, you know what? Oof. It's irritating to me. He's going to, when he wakes up, because I knew the man, I knew when he woke up, he's going to get up, take a shower, get dressed, go to work, bypass all that shit in the sink. And I am not in the mood for an argument. I pick my battles. And cleaning dishes and cleaning up around the house is basic shit when it comes to me. I'm not going to start an argument with my significant other over that. If I see shit that's dirty, I clean it. And I would like to think that even though I wasn't married to someone like that, I would like to think that in the future, if that happens, which I'm retired now from the whole dating game, but anyway, that if that happens, that man is going to be like, you know what? Them dishes have been sitting there. Let me clean it up. Oh, there's a mess on the floor, or I need to vacuum the rug, or I need to pick up and do this. I'm going to do this. It's fucking common sense. I don't want to be in a position to have to tit for tat motherfuckers. Like, I washed the dishes last night. Now you need to clean that bathroom.
I feel like Steve is a reasonable dude, though. I feel like if Noi had said, listen, I'm working, like she did say to him, like, I'm working, you're not actually doing like a day-to-day 9 to 5. I don't expect to do it straight down the middle 50-50. Steve wasn't like, no, not give you buck. He wasn't saying no. He was like,
he said, well, you're right. And that's where I think that they had some clarification there, because he did say, well, I do expect you to help out. And she made a face.
So to that point, she ain't helping. She wouldn't even turn his noodles off, and she was already at the stove. This is the type of chick that you're dealing with, a petty chick.
It's not like he's Olajuwon.
Right. I know, but the noodles, like, are we overthinking the noodles? Did she just forget the noodles? And
no,
then
she did that.
She didn't forget her noodles. She didn't forget her noodles because they were cooking at the same time.
Yeah.
True.
She did that.
Why are they cooking separate noodles anyway?
Because
one of them was a certain brand or something.
Was it gluten, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And I want to say she's the gluten free.
I don't know.
I don't like her. I don't like her. She's like, oh, we're gonna live apart. I don't feel like she was ready for marriage. And I think they're gonna have a lot of those little stupid arguments over nothing.
Sure.
When you actually get married and live together and have kids, you're gonna have bigger fish to fry. And those little arguments that she likes to start are not cute because they build up. Yep. So save your energy, sis, for when you really got some shit like a mortgage to discuss, or like you trying to find a daycare for your child. Like, girl, don't be doing that. Like,
you know what Steve reminds me of? Like people that, guys I know in Boston, and it's funny that he is from Boston, and particular men like ball busting women. And you'd be like, I don't see that from you. You're this like smart, intelligent person, and you seem so, put together at work. And then you talk about this woman who is just like a ball buster, who don't want to do anything and never happy, never satisfied. He seems like that guy to me. And he picked that woman.
And he seems to adore her.
That's the thing that boggles my mind. Like, why? What is it in her behavior
But
to
you
do
guys
that is
can-
so
The
infantile?
least she can do is do 50-50. After all, because not even that, he's going to do more than 50-50 because he's already doing that shit. And he loves her and he wants to be, he's already doing that. He just probably wants a little bit more from her.
Yes.
Not be a queen. She's just like, I don't want to.
You guys talked about this before. She's jealous.
Right.
She is so jealous of her
Thank
own
you.
husband, and it is
Yes.
not a good look.
Not
It's
just
not.
his money, but his family life,
She's-
how he's brought up.
Everything.
She's jealous.
Everything.
She is.
Straight up. That's why I think that next week's. Okay, I got ahead of myself. Let's go to fucking Lindsay and Mark again. Another bitch that emasculated her man. You know, she bitch, make your decision, but no, you decide to make your decision and emasculate your man. Go ahead, Shahida.
All I got is one thing to say about them. The last 3-4 weeks, all I've been saying is Mark does not have any reason to say yes, but he's going to. And he's still, even though I kept saying that for the last couple of weeks, that he was going to say yes and he has no reason to say yes, I was still fucking shocked. Because when she started going in on him about the social media and he just stood there and took it like a deer in headlights. And it was like, dude, you just handed her your testicles and your penis. Why?
This is Mark the whole time.
This is what he's been doing the entire season.
That was too much. Go ahead, Tracy.
He thought he was making a boss move, though. He was so busy thinking about that set of keys that he had in his pocket that he didn't even hear what the hell she was saying. He thought he was making a boss move. He's going, this is the keys to our new place. She was like, oh, you think so? Because we ain't living there. We ain't
your
living
grandmother's
there.
Place. Your grandmother's place.
Listen, and knowing that she hates that place.
No, the whole thing was cringy. I was like,
God.
no way. And then he's like, my dream is to live in my parents, like my whatever, his mom's house. I was just blown away because she had told him she didn't want to do that, and
Mark is not trying to go spend money elsewhere. So it's actually a good financial plan to stay in, because I'm guessing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Grandma's house is paid for
it.
Or nearly paid for. So you deal with that for a certain amount of time. You build your mutual equity up together, because looking at the two of them, I don't think they have two nickels to rub together. Mark definitely ain't got no damn money. You see, he was living in that lady's attic, right? Okay.
He claims to have some money.
She lives in the South End, North End, wherever she's staying. She's
South
a nurse.
Boston. She lives over there off Broadway.
So she's a nurse. So she probably makes a few dollars.
Yes, she's got money.
But her rent is probably high. Common sense would say, take the L, go live at grandma's house, get your ones up, and then y'all can get a place that's yours together. She's just not budging. So she's going to give him hell every day. They live in that house. Every day they live in that place together. She's going to give him hell.
And I don't blame her for that, because one of the last episodes, he made mention of that. He brought her.
I remember.
His grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I give Lindsay this, as much disdain that I have for Lindsay. I was all for Lindsay on this one. Lindsay was like, give me $500 in a week.
And that's nothing.
And that's short money. Right. She's like, give me $500 in a week, and let me do what I want to do to make this apartment my own.
And he said no.
And then she said to him, but that dresser drawer over there has got to go. And he was not budging. He doesn't have the wherewithal to let shit go with regards to that's my grandmother's and my mother's dresser drawer. Nah, you want this woman to move into your home or your parents' home. And listen, I'll give you that, but you got to cut me some slack.
He's
I
very
want to
nostalgic.
continue this.
He's very, very
Bottom
nostalgic.
line, whatever Lindsay says is going to go from now
Oh
on.
hell yeah!
Of
He's
Whatever.
gonna come home. He gonna come home from Chick-fil-A, and that thing's gonna be out on the curb.
Boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom.
I think it's gonna fall into a divorce then, because I think he's attached to a lot of things.
That's what should happen. But them two are gonna stay together. They're gonna have some kids and fuck them up.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna happen.
it's a typical.
Are you serious? Because I'm praying
I don't
to
think they
God
stay together.
that by the time we get to this reunion next
Reunion?
week, I need them to be divorced or broken up.
Mm-mm.
I think by the time we get,
Katina, I
I think by the time we get to next week, I don't know like when they filmed it or whatever, but Mark and Lindsay not together. Katina and Olajuwon still together, and Jasmina and Michael not together.
So
And
look at what
friends.
Look at what
Keep
everyone
the
has
noise
at
together.
stake. Look at what people have at stake. Lindsay is so desperate for a child. She's like, eat your food and then give me some of your sperm because I need to know if they swim. She's ready to get pregnant right now. She's not going to give up her opportunity.
I think she's just talking shit on that.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I never really got that much from her when it
Yeah,
came.
but why
they talked about
fertility test?
She wants that
why
baby.
do the fertility test?
Yeah, I think she's old. She's old.
It's a biological
clock.
clock.
She was saying she wanted kids soon.
That biological clock. She's
I don't think it's gonna be with him though. I don't think that they're gonna be together.
That's where I think, even she said it will probably be my first marriage, but not my last. I'm sure she will.
She's gonna use him for the baby.
Yeah.
And he's a dummy. So he's
yeah.
gonna pay. Chick-fil-A is gonna cut that child support check from his paycheck, and she'll move on to one of these rich men that she claims that want to date her so badly. She's definitely going to try to have a baby with Mark.
And if she does, good for her, but she's never going to move on with a rich man that's going to, unless he's stupid enough because he's seen her on social media and on, the Lifetime thing. Because listen, Lindsay ain't that bitch.
No.
No. Ain't nobody going to break their necks to friggin' get with her.
No. And it's the laugh. I think it's the laugh that kills her.
I think he's just scared. I think he's just straight up terrified.
I know.
To say no, he doesn't want it.
To say no to anything.
No, he's not terrified because he had his moment to get out of it.
Yeah, and he's terrified. That's why he's
saying to say, I want a divorce and I'm out. And he said it that if she says no or she wants a divorce, I'm just going to get up and run out. That's what he said.
So do you guys think that she had a yes button in one pocket and a no button in the other?
Of course she did, because she's psycho.
Because that's what I really thought when she was like, I have a button.
Yeah.
She didn't know she was saying yes prior to him saying yes. She definitely thought she was saying no.
I think that's why she went on that tangent before. But then again, like Tanya said,
but they all
her and Olajuwon are just so demented. But I thought she went on that tangent before because she thought he was going to say no. And when he just sat there blank face, I mean, you can compare his face to Katina's. I mean, they both look like they were hit by a truck.
Lindsay and Olajuwon, they were always like in cahoots. They would compare notes. They were building up their strategy together on the roof. Really? Those two knew what they wanted to do, and they knew who their mate is and their mate's personality. Mark, he doesn't have the balls to walk away from a Lindsay. There's no reason. You guys said it. There's no reason. There's not one quality this woman has. Yes, she's there for you in times of crisis, but she relishes in your crisis. She loves to see you down. Why would you want to, he can't even see it because his mom was like that. his mom was like,
yeah, I forgot about the mom.
Browbeat the father. So he's like, this is how it's supposed to be. Even after they exposed it for him, it wasn't enough time for him to process that it was happening to him.
No, I think he knew what was happening to him. I just think he was just comfortable with the situation because that's how his parents came up, and that's how he's gonna come up.
He said, what was funny is he said, you know, the last 2 weeks have been really good, and she comes back and be like, well, really just 1 week.
Yeah.
But you know what? Mark, I'm telling you, he thought he was making a boss move, because if he moved in with Lindsay, she could put him out. She can't put him out his grandmama house. So
she'll find a way to put him out.
Listen,
she'll find Mark, you're no longer staying here. This is my house now.
I hope Mark has some cousins, okay? And I hope
it don't seem like he has anybody.
No, he's got his mother and his grandmother.
Oh, he was the only child. He didn't have like a lot of aunts and uncles. He needs some
child.
Black female cousins.
Yeah,
because that would have handled the whole situation. That's who should have been there. And I think Olajuwon did what he did because the coach talked him out of saying no. So a lot of these people, I feel like he did. I feel like his coach pointed him.
I felt like the coach was telling him that, you know what, you got to do what makes you happy. You got to do what's best for you, and wasn't necessarily trying to support the marriage.
Well, he also said that everything's not going to be perfect. Like, he did say that. He kind of set like that expectation. So I feel like but he did say, you know, you should consider all your options and you should do what's going to be right for you. I didn't feel like he was like trying to lean him against saying no. But I honestly, I think some of them made their decisions right on that couch. Some of them didn't even know what they were going to say until they heard what the other one said.
Agreed.
I kind of think that they knew beforehand what they were going to say.
And I think they had to tell the production too.
You think so?
Maybe they didn't want any surprises.
Yeah. And I think also who's going to go first. And remember, bottom line is, this is not in a vacuum. This is a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but the experts looked so uncomfortable with sometimes when they were talking. So if the experts were in on it,
I don't think they may not have told the experts.
Maybe not.
But I think someone else knew. Like, you know what I mean? I think yeah. And they have an idea.
I can see that. I can see them, the producers, you know, the production team, them having a clue of what they were going to say. I feel like in Jasmina's case, back to her, I feel like she knew she was saying yes, you know, and she had that speech all set up and everything.
But they all played that little mind game.
They did, and which seems scripted to me.
That part.
Because why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. For shock value.
Messy.
It was all messy because there's no way in hell all four couples said yes.
Okay.
That shit listen, I was on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everybody was shook. Like, we all got it wrong. Like, Jesus Christ. What the hell?
That was shocking.
And also remember what they are manipulating what they're allowed to show us. So all of those relationships could have been a lot better, but they just take out the ones they need to.
Right.
You know how angry or how asshole Olajuwon is, or all that kind of stuff. They can mold and shape us into thinking what we want to, and then switch us at the end. So we have a discussion like this. Oh my God, did you see it? They all said yes.
Trash ass.
But this doesn't need to be 2 hours. They don't have to do this. I feel like I need a special therapy session with my therapist just to discuss what happened to me emotionally from watching this season. I want it comped by my insurance.
That's why I DVR that shit, because guess what? Y'all motherfuckers last night was like, oh, happy decision day. Oh, you starting at 8:00? I'm like, nah.
I was asleep.
I start at 8:00. I do.
At 9:00 so I can fast forward. I was like, I already knew 9:00. By 9:00, I was going to be asleep. I watched that shit at 3:00 this morning. It took me 60 minutes to fast forward all through that.
Yeah,
bullshit.
just skip all the pictures of the city of Boston.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I just want to see, did you say yes or did you say no? And I was beside myself when every one of them was like, I want to stay married. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that?
So Tanya, how did you feel when they did the post meetup? After
fucked up. Oh. Everything was good until I already knew that they do the post meetup, you know, with all the couples, and the couples get together and talk about who said yes, who said no. And then when I saw Chris walk up the stairs, I was like, you already know that bitch is coming. And then when she walks up the stairs with her little shimmy, you know, her little dress
That
on,
dress was banging.
it was all like,
That was nice.
banging.
I was waiting for someone to say it.
That dress was banging.
But this is when I love Lindsay, because Lindsay does not ride for Alyssa. She was like, I don't give a fuck.
Right. When they asked her, she's like, I don't care about that bitch.
She really don't. She was like, bump her.
And I love the fact that Chris was unbothered too. Like Chris was like, they were like, hi Chris, what's going on with you? He's like, oh,
I'm out here in these streets.
great.
I'm in these streets.
He looked like he lost weight.
I have to admit,
I just wish he would have fixed his teeth, just so that he could have went out there banging and swinging.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wanted him to do that for my own.
I have to admit, I turned it off.
I did too.
When
I
you
didn't
saw
even-
Alyssa come up,
No,
No,
I didn't even get to that part.
Okay.
After they
Yeah,
said all
yeah.
the
No, I
things,
texted
okay,
their
I
asses
know,
this
5
morning,
minutes.
and I was like,
like 5
oh,
minutes left
wait
of it.
till
I
the
was
ending
like,
when that bitch shows up, and they were like, wait, I didn't watch it. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Tanya, you called it. You called it. You were like, watch them bring. And I was like, what would be the value of bringing Alyssa in? Here she comes. But she, her face.
Oh, it gets better because I watched it to the very end. So I'm fucking everything up. She showed up. Her and Chris showed up at the last scene of the decision day, at the the cocktail thing where they were like, oh, who stayed married, who got divorced. Then it came up that everybody stayed married, and then she's on one side, Chris is on the other side, and it was just an awkward ass moment. And I just thought it was a bad moment. The reunion, I get it. Not the fucking get together at the bar when all the couples get together and let each other know who survived, who didn't. Because everybody knows that Alyssa and Chris didn't survive. So there was no need for them to be there. But
They started, it was everyone who started, so they had to tie it in a neat bow.
reunion clip.
But her face cracked. when
And
he said
they
he was
get
dating.
in that bitch's ass. And I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to ruin
Whose
it.
face cracked?
Alyssa, when Chris said, "Oh, I'm just out, I'm dating, I'm seeing some, I'm out here
Oh,
seeing
yeah,
a
that
couple
bitch's
of
face
people." She
I'm
was
out
like,
here-
"Woo,
I'm out here checking people's chests for lion tattoos.
hey."
And she thought she showed up thinking she was looking good, albeit I liked the little dress, but I was like, whatever, bitch.
But I also don't believe Chris is dating anyone. I think he just said that.
I think he just said that.
I
too.
think he just said it. Yeah, poor little thing. I think he's on Plenty of Fish or something.
No, I think he probably is a
You know what? I
strong
don't even think Chris
possibility
is on
that he's
anything.
dating.
I think Chris is out there making his fucking coin because ever since he left, I've been following him. And his real estate website, this motherfucker is selling $1 to $3 million fucking condos and homes and shit. He's making all kinds of coin.
I mean, he did say he felt he was comfortable with his finances and everything, and that's when he was going to be ready to settle down.
And he's
don't think
dating again.
wish he would have fixed his teeth just.
Ooh, 'cause you
But
already
there
know.
will be some woman who would not care about those damn teeth.
No, I
Because
know.
I'm just saying a lot of
No, I don't.
people
I agree. It was more so because
to rub it in her face.
To stunt on
Yeah.
Alyssa. Yeah.
Yeah, it was more so to stunt on Alyssa than I think he needed it. I don't think he needed to fix his teeth and just.
Well, they're bringing her back for I watched it to the very end. So I'm just gonna spoiler alert on the reunion. They're bringing her and Chris back, and she on the clip she was like, I hate to sound so What she said? I hate to sound so cliche, but
No, she said, I know this is
I
a
am a
running
good
joke.
person. She was like, I hate to sound so cliche. She was talking to Cal and Pepper, and she's like, but I really am a good person. And I was just like, really, bitch?
She said,
You
I know it's
told
a
her to
running
say
joke.
that. They had to tell
She
her.
said, yeah, I know this is a running
I know
joke.
it's a running joke, but I am a good person. Like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Poor me, poor Alyssa.
She's a horrible person. I mean, this was the worst season. And I thought that the one with Paige and Chris was just, that was the worst relationship I had seen. But this was the most toxic, most abusive, most another just
dysfunctional,
dysfunctional season I have ever seen.
It gives you a picture of what it's like dating in your 30s right now or 20s.
Oh, goddamn.
That's just what it is.
You're the only one, and Maya, we are exempt on that. So you need to let us know what is it like dating in your 30s and shit? Because I don't know nothing about that.
Shitty.
Right?
Did I say anything else? I mean,
but look at there's Steves out there, there's Michaels out there. Or are you seeing more Elijahs and more Lindsays out there?
I mean, the pool, it's just a big pool of bullshit out there. Like, I don't even know. Even like, you can't even sign up for things. The experts can't even match you with people.
So can I be an armchair expert here? We've been married for 22 years. So this is my recommendation to young people or anyone who's dating and wants to meet nice people. Find a nice place to volunteer that has a diverse group of volunteers around your age and different ages. Go do your volunteer thing. Enjoy helping people and then meet people through volunteering. Because I think all the club, church, forget all that. Go volunteer.
In general.
I'm done with all of that. And I appreciate it. But I'm not getting out of bed to go volunteer and do nothing.
It's so much fun.
I've done a lot of volunteering, and I was actually last night because I was at a program. I'm like, I got to get back into it, but I'm not meeting any men there because it was a domestic violence shelter.
Well, girl, you barking up the wrong tree with that. You could do that too, but
no, I'm not going to volunteer for any of that stuff. I'm good.
You don't want to help the people, at least?
No.
Okay.
I don't mind volunteering. I just, I find it, I don't know if I'd find someone of my interest in the places I'd like to volunteer at.
Well, I have a thing for you. We'll talk off screen that I think you might be interested in.
Sure, I'm open.
I want to know.
Well, I don't know. Can I plug something that I volunteer? I mean, I'm not part of it. I'm not getting paid, but there's a volunteer.
None of us are getting paid. So.
It's a program called One Brick, and it's based out of different cities, but Boston is one of the cities. So they put a calendar up every month, and you could pick which volunteer opportunity you want to do based on your availability and your schedule. And there was I met so many cool people when I did One Brick, and then at least once a month they do a social meetup too. So you volunteer and you meet up after you do the volunteer opportunity. You meet up as a group, like at a restaurant or a bar, and then you also do one just social meetup with the other volunteers. I'm telling you, dope. I met some incredible people and nice young people.
Okay. Nice. All right, Maya.
Good. You know what? Tag Mia on that one too. Get them out there.
I loved volunteering. It to me is very fulfilling because I'm not a morning person, but I'll do, so you serve people at like Pine Street, or you do sometimes it's just like boxing. Sometimes you sort the little baby clothes at Cradles to Crowns. There's so many things you can do that doesn't suck for volunteering. That's really a lot of fun.
That's wonderful.
Nice plug. I like that. That's a nice tune to end on.
So, all right. So let's end it on the fact that applause. We are done. Officially done.
We still got those reunions. I gotta see those.
But we are officially done.
Finally, goddamn.
We are officially done because they've made their decisions. Next week, we got 2 more weeks to go because it is part 1 of Decision Day reunion, and then we got another week, and then we're officially done.
So I'm telling y'all right now, you already said you're gonna start doing 90 day this next 90 day. If I start watching this, it better not be fucked up. Because y'all already got me in season 14 and Married at First Sight, which is a show I never watched in my life.
It's fucked up.
There's a lot of fuckery. I watched every season of 90 Days out there too, and there's some fuckery goes on there.
But at least they have the family, so you have more involvement.
That don't mean that.
Oh, girl, that make it worse.
No, that's better because at least I have more characters. I got more characters.
But they're fucking crazy. They're crazy.
But you know what? What did you send the other day, Chris? You said that they have more marriages that stay together on 90 Day,
right?
Really?
Yes.
Than Married at First Sight.
No, then in general, in public.
Wow.
What you mean?
Like in public, yes, in general, they have a better success rate than the normal population, and they're all fucking crazy.
Yeah, they fucked
up. Oh wow!
But we gonna start that, and
I think a lot of it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A lot of it. I'm sorry, we're on delay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm saying a lot of it is on not delay. A lot of it is because they go through so much hardship in order to get married, and goes through so much bullshit that it bonds them even more. They're crazy. Go Bilal. Go ahead.
Oh, fuck Bilal. Fuck that motherfucker. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway.
Wrapping it up.
Is the moral of the story that a lot of crazy motherfuckers are getting married to each other, and that's life. So I guess we just
that's
what it is.
They're desperate and they just getting married to get married. Look, I am not saying that because everybody's been asking and they've been texting and inboxing saying, are you guys going to commentate on the next season of Married at First Sight? And I'm like, I don't know. But they're like, what else are you talking about? And I was like, Jesus Christ, Chris, what the hell is that? I'm like, we're talking about Married at First Sight. And I'm like, everybody's like, oh, y'all really need to talk about Married at First Sight. So we got something going there. So we'll figure it out. And I'm going to not say that Married at First Sight is off the table. We'll just have to see where they're going to next.
How many Black people are on there?
Amen.
That's it.
They need to do it in like Puerto Rico or Alaska or some shit to keep it spicy.
Do it in New Orleans or Houston or some shit like that.
They did it in New Orleans.
And they did it in Houston.
That's true. And they did it in Houston. It was all fucked up. Gil.
Because New Orleans is the season where
the weird
that
one.
Was,
Woody and Amani.
Woody and Amani was on.
Yep. All of them. Yeah.
That was the best season that I loved the most.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
I love New Orleans season the most. I like that.
Boston, these Boston folks is making us look terrible. God damn it.
Terrible. All right, here. It's been real, everybody. Don't hang up, people. Don't hang up. Okay. But for our fans, listen, it's been real. We survived. We'll see y'all next week because the reunion part 1 is next week. And Alyssa's showing up. I'm really a good person now. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. So yeah, it is what it is. So until next week, we'll see you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Toast your glasses up. Wait, where's my thing?
That's all I got.
Oh,
I'm gonna be like, just delete. What's her name? Put my glass down here.
Keep it going,
Jasmina.
I got an empty water bottle.